Well, what a great race, because we have the British women's 8th. The camera is flying over them now. What a fantastic season they're having. I'll tell you what, European Championships, I thought they looked very ordinary. They came out in World Cup 2, Mark, and boom, bang, amazing heat. Led the American world champions to 1,000 metres, and they're on fire right now.
Yeah, I think the girls have made a few technical changes, seat order, they've moved people around the boat, and it's got a better feel now. And yeah, I thought it was one of the performances of the regatta from the British team was where they went out in the heat and led the Americans, which, when you think about it, they haven't been beaten for about 7 years, that crew or that nation. So for the girls to do that was a huge step forward for them, and they just kept that confidence progressing through the regatta.
You can hear the voice of the umpire Mike Williams from London Rowing Club, and it'll be a relief to these women to get this race underway. Let's just hear his voice as he gives the start.
Attention! Go!
You saw the hand on the ride of Zoe de Toledo, the former Oxford Cox, just had the hand up as the British women power off from their Leander clubmates. There they are with the pink blades.
Yeah, this is going to be a really good battle. You've got the squad 8, the national 8, racing a club crew. A lot of these club girls from Leander will be trying to make their way into this 8 when it qualifies, which you should do this summer for next year's Olympic Games.
Yeah, what a job they've got, because only 5 women's 8s will qualify from this year's World Championships. Just a quick word about stroke Catherine Douglas, former under-23 international. There's the Leander crew at the top of your screen with the pink blades, and the British women's 8, the national women's 8 in the foreground. The Leander 8, it's a big day for them, coached by Jane Hall. Of course, you all know her as a former international, Mark.
Yeah, the club has been working really hard to, get some bigger boats into the event of Henley, and, to have a girls' 8 with just all Leander club athletes is, a great step forward. And Jane's been working really hard with them. They're really up against it's a racing national team. It's exciting, but also quite daunting, because, in the 8 here we have, we've got our women's pair who are the top 2 sweet girls in the country, and this is the next 8 girls that are the best ones. So, it's a bit of a tall order, but, the girls have got nothing to lose. They can just go out there and just give it a go. Absolutely,
and I was working with some of these girls earlier this year. We had a corporate event. I know Leander does some fantastic work with that, with Weetabix, and some of these girls in the Leander crew rode with the Weetabix executives, and it was a great afternoon out, and they certainly learnt a lot. They did some coaching of the Leander girls, and just got nothing but praise for the programme. And this race, they're really hanging on to the tails of the British women's 8.
Yeah, this is the Leander girls final. This is it. They've got a chance to race the squad girls. They've got nothing to lose, and that's a great position to be in. They can go out, try something, try and rattle them, and that's, if you're racing the top crew, you have to make sure you're in the race. You have to rattle them in some way, put them under pressure, not let them get too comfortable, and that's what the girls will be trying to do.
So there's the Leander crew, coached by Erin Wisofsky-Jones. She's the woman nearest to you with the blonde hair streaming down her back. Ahead of her, the stroke woman, Catherine Douglas. Emily Ashford then, you can just see her in the 7th seat. And, well, there's a shot of them from our camera, I think the Fawley Meadows camera. Leander with the pink blades and the British women with the white blades leading the race.
Yeah, and the girls have got a nice, long, strong rhythm. This is something they've really developed in that World Cup in Varese. And obviously, they've got confidence from that now, so they're just going to want to keep building on that. And the Canadian national team is here, so obviously in this opening round, they're going to want to put down a marker that says, we'll keep moving on, we're keeping evolving, and to be wary of us when it comes to the bigger races later in the event.
Yeah, I think the thing we're looking forward to is the British women against the Canadian women. Of course, if they make it that, through to the final, and Canada is a world silver medalist. If the British do want to be competitive in the Olympics, they've really got to put a marker over the Canadians. And I think, it's very interesting in terms of what the British team have done now, because they've put the experienced sort of women, Katie Greaves, Louisa Reeve, Jess Eddy, in the bows of the boat, and they've got the sort of new hungry women, Zoe Lee, Ro Bradbury, Olivia Carnegie-Brown in the stern.
I think that's, you know, you've got to move people around. You've got to find the best fit for the athletes you have. And just because you've been in the team longer doesn't give you that right to sit in a certain seat. It's about looking at the athletes, what they can bring to the unit. And if these younger girls have something about them, put them in the exciting end of the boat where they can really kind of have an impact. And let all the kind of experience sit there and talk to them from behind. Because I know the Cox will do most of the talking that Zoe will be doing. And I hope she steers a straight line, because she's been kind of looking at everybody else's and commenting all week. So we're looking at this, see if she does a good job today.
Yeah, that's a great... She sits up in that press box, and she's a lovely girl. But we're looking there at Katie Greaves, the furthest away from you. We're going on about Lou Reeve, Jess Eddy in the London Rowing Club, Dora Etibet, and as the camera pans down, Vicky Maulaker, Olivia Carnegie-Brown in the Oxford Brooks top, the burgundy top, then Ro Bradbury in the 7th seat, and in the distinctive colours of Imperial College, that fantastic stroke woman, Zoe Lee, with the Cox. And we were just talking about her. She is a fantastic raconteur, commentator and coxswain, but she does like to put in those caustic comments about steering. So we are going to look closely, Zoe, and analyse your steering as we ride with the Leander crew.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, athletes are judged on their performance, and coxes are judged on theirs. So athletes will want the cox to go in the straightest line possible. So if they are veering around, then the athletes won't be happy with that, because that slows the boats down by putting the rudder on. And the last thing you want to be doing is interrupting the kind of rhythm of the crew while they're trying to just put the work down.
I'll tell you what, though, I've nothing for admiration as Zoe de Toledo looks around. I mean, to go through the cavalry of that boat race loss, where it was so close, and the swimmer came out, and then, you know, there was that steering decision she made, broke a blade, and, you know, she has had to go through hell. And I think the way she's recovered to be part of this British Women's 8 has been fantastic, and a credit to her determination and her skills as a coxswain.
Yeah, and I think, you know, that you know, you learn from more of your setbacks and disappointments, and being able to turn that around shows the true character you have as a person. I think she's done that really well. And, you know, she's involved with the kind of Twitter handle of Henley Royal Regatta, so if you do have any feedback or comments, do get in touch and let us know what you think of the coverage, and also the pictures we're showing you.
So we're looking at the British International 8. They will be trying to qualify for the Olympics at the World Championships later this year in 2015. They are racing their club mates, or some of their club mates from Leander Club, on the left of your screen. It's their big day as they come through to the finish. Still a gap. A lot of these Leander women want to get into the squad at Caversham. The gap is there for you to see, and the British women are going to cross the line. What do you make of that gap? I mean, is that a healthy pipeline coming through?
Yeah, well, you can see that the squad 8's kind of winding down, you know, enjoying that moment where they can have a little look as they go past the stewards' enclosure. Being in front, it's a comfortable position to be in, and to try and come back from clear water and 8 is a long way. So, you know, the girls will take this opportunity to enjoy this, because as the event kind of moves on in the next 2 days, they won't have this opportunity to relax in like the last couple hundred metres.
So it's the British national squad rowing here as Leander and Imperial College, although there are women there from Oxford Brooks, Sport Imperial, London Rowing Club, cross the line ahead of the 8 women and 1 coxswain from Leander Rowing Club in the heat of the Remenham Challenge Cup for Women's 8s. 3 cheers, and that was a great run out for the British women.